Do you guys know how long I have been waiting for today to happen? I've been waiting for quite a long time, and you couldn't escape it. No, I'm sure you guys know the drill by now. You guys are probably asking, well, why couldn't you wait till today? Well, the answer to that resides in what we are actually doing today, which has a lot to do with multi-blocks. Yep, that's right, everyone. It's time for multi-block madness. So hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of Monifactory, where today, once again, hoping for no more tangents. We've been on a pretty good streak here with no tangents, but today we have a lot to do. The first thing on today's agenda is the alloy blast smelter. And for this, I need tantalum carbide, which is what I was making somewhere up here. And I was making the EBF right up here. Now, the reason we actually need the alloy blast smelter is to make a lot of the alloys needed for multi-blocks. A lot of them are just like weird, really like strange alloys that we need the alloy blast smelter for. So we need to do everything related to that. Now, this is a little bit of a weird craft. The tantalum carbide we don't have that much of, so maybe I should have thought about that and did this sooner rather than later, but it's whatever. The expensive part of this is going to come from the coils, because we need to use HSSG coils. And we also need titanium carbide. See, that's another alloy I need to make. And HSLA. Just so many... What is going on with this? Regardless, we need to do it. So I need to make HSLA, titanium carbide, and molybdenum... I still can't say it. Molybdenum disilide. Just a whole bunch of mixers over here. Awesome, so that should be all the special alloys that I need. And all of these just need EBS, which I don't think... this one can't all EV. Like, I could perfectly overclock this at IV. Am I going to? Probably not. But regardless, these do all need an EBF. Awesome, so all of these EBFs are now running. So now, it is kind of just a matter of waiting. Like, it still only takes 8 seconds, so I don't think it's going to be that bad, the waiting on these, hopefully. But I do need a lot of them for the upcoming multi-blocks, so it is going to be a little bit annoying. Like, actually, let's see how much of this stuff I need. So for one alloy blast smelter, I'm going to need 34 pieces of the high-temperature casing. Yeah, we have enough tungsten carbide. We just need HSLA and titanium carbide, which is going to take a decent amount of time. But that's okay. We can find other things to do in the meantime. So in the meantime, I would like to fix up the space where the multi-blocks are actually going to be. Now, on one side of this, I think I want autocrafting, and on the other side, I'm probably going to do ore processing. Don't quote me on that, but that's the plan. But as you can see, the spots I want to put them on are right here, and there's nothing here. So I need to do a little bit of building. I'm not going to do too much of this on montage or on camera, because it's just going to be small copy-paste, so I'll be back when I have something that's kind of simple that I kind of like. Alrighty, so I have been working away, and I think I found something I kind of like. I still have to get the roof on here, actually. Looks good to me, so I'm going to have 2 multi-blocks per stall. This way, I should have all the multi-blocks that I need. And I'm going to have them connect up here as well, so I can walk back through and do maintenance and whatnot through them. Yeah, now I just have to copy and paste this. So it should be pretty nice. I should have a lot more room to work with, and I'm so excited for multi-blocks, guys. You have no idea. So I have copy and pasted this little design on both sides. I think it looks pretty good, actually. I'm not sure exactly what I want to put here yet, so I'm going to wait on that. But what I do know is I should be able to make my first alloy blast smelter. So I'm going to set this thing, I think, just right here. Awesome, so this should make my alloy blast smelter perfect. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have this as a recipe thing. So I don't really want to have a lot of these stuff on passive as of right now, at least. I might in the future, right? But this I want to be for auto-crafting alloys, so more on demand, which is going to be slower, but it is going to be more efficient with my resources, because at the moment, a lot of this stuff is still kind of expensive. And another thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do pattern P2P for this. So I'm going to have a pattern provider here, and that's going to basically go into the input bus and the input hatch. And that way I can do a lot of the faster recipes, like, for example, molybdenum disilide, I think needs helium to make it faster. Yeah, so I could use helium to make this faster, and I want to include that in the recipe, so this is faster. And I'm hoping for right now, running this at IV should be plenty of power. So the output hatch, we're also going to want to send into some vacuum freezers. I'm just going to make 2 for now. And I think I might put the vacuum freezers in this spot here for now. But now I should be able to start teaching my system the different alloys I need to make the different multi-blocks. So for example, the centrifugal unit, maceration tower, chemical bath, electrolysis chamber, sifting funnel, oh yeah, material press, this is all looking good. So these all need different casing. So I know stress proof one is one of them, which needs marging steel, which I don't think you can actually, yeah, you can't make unless you use the ABS. So this needs a whole bunch of random stuff. We have EV, we have the above RTM alloy coils, so we should be able to make a whole bunch of this. So can I make a recipe for this? So if I've done the math correctly, this should make 24 ingots of this marging steel. And if I put that into this pattern here, I want to see if it'll work. So if I do this, are you going to put the things in the right place? This needs to be... Okay, this might not be working. Like I thought it would. Okay, so it seems the fluids are going to be a bit of a problem. So what I'm going to have to do is have a separate alloy blast smelter for every single different fluid intake, if you will. Which is going to be a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. So if I put this on circuit 15, you should start working, though. Yes, perfect. And this will be done at, dang, 300 seconds? I guess for 24 ingots, that's not too bad. But I know for a fact I'm going to need more alloy blast smelters, which is a little annoying. I really didn't want to have to do that, but it looks like I'm going to. But before I do that, I need to make sure that the fluid here gets sent and it gets cooled down. So I think I'm probably just going to do fluid PGPs, preferably multi, because I'm going to have more than one alloy blast smelter. So I'm going to have the output hatch. How close is this being done? Getting pretty close. So we're going to have the fluid multi P2P tunnel just right here. And I should be able to memory card you and then set it to input into here. And this also needs a, for whatever reason, a casting mold ingot here. So this should hopefully do what I want it to do. And it should make the ingot form of this. So this should finish, and hopefully that went to the vacuum freezer. Yes, it did, and it's making me, oh, check that out. It's making me my steel 300, whatever it is. So now if I want to teach my system how to make stress-proof casing, it should be able to do it almost all automatically for me. So for, let's say, the large wire factory, I need 32 stress-proof casing. Can I do that? Let's see. I want to see if this will work. It's going to take quite a while, probably like a good 15 minutes to do, but it will be worth it. And also while it's going, I'm going to make a second ABS up here. And I'm pretty much going to have an identical setup to the one downstairs. Yeah, hey, that's beautiful. And this ABS is going to be for helium recipes. So, for example, I need Incaloy MA956, which needs a helium blast furnace on circuit 14. And one problem I ran into is, for whatever reason, there's circuit 15 and there's circuit 14 recipes, so I just have two input buses. And I have two separate pattern providers for both of those. They're both named at their circuit. I think it's a pretty smart idea to do, because you don't want to make two separate EBFs for the same fluid or ABSs. That seems a little bit pointless to me. So I'm going to do the same thing up here where I have two input hatches with two separate pattern providers for each of the different circuits. And now I kind of have to teach my system how to make all of this stuff. And if I've done the math correctly, this is going to make 13 ingots of the Incaloy MA956. So let's say, for example, I want to make a centrifugal unit. This is going to take how many casings? 50 vibration-safe casings. I might as well get these going. So let's say I want to make 100 vibration-safe casing. That's probably enough for two of the multi-blocks. Oh, I'm out of vanadium steel, and oh, I don't have yttrium. That is not good. It would appear yttrium only comes from rare earth. Or is there not a better way of getting this? Regardless, though, I'm going to need a way of getting rare earth, and it does come from some ore processing, but I can also get it, I believe, from redstone, or I can also get it from monazite, which I can't actually purchase. So, you know what? I'm going to buy a whole bunch of this stuff. Yeah, hopefully this should give me enough rare earth for now, and I should be able to macerate all of this. And that should give me enough yttrium to make all of the vibration-safe casing that I need, which, you know, it might not. Awesome, so I'm now getting my rare earth, which just needs to be centrifuged. So I am now centrifuging every single piece of rare earth that I get. So hopefully I get a decent amount of yttrium from this. If not, I mean, it's totally fine, but I would really like a lot of it. In this way, I can make a lot of the vibration-safe casing, because I'm going to need a lot of this for ore processing, so that's why I kind of want to batch craft it, and I need a whole more vanadium steel dust. Well, now it really is kind of a waiting game, right? We have our ABSs, so now I just need to teach them a whole bunch of alloys, and I'll be back when I have, like, a decent amount of stuff. Hopefully no more tangents like yttrium come up, where I need to get some of that, so I think we'll be fine. But next up, it's time to upgrade auto crafting by a lot. Alrighty, so the next part of this video is going to be a little bit more explaining, yapping, than it is like building, because I actually did some of the multi-block building on livestream, and I did want to show one specific clip from that livestream that like really explains well what the essence of multi-crafting is about, or multi-block crafting is about. Okay, so let me quickly explain how we're going to do this. Right? So this is just a circuit assembler. So we're only gonna have one input bus for this, but let's say we had multiple different like recipes, circuits, or whatnot. Like for example, if I go up to assembly 4.2, right? If we look here, I have multiple different assemblers on different circuits. So each of these would be a different input bus that we would have on a different circuit, and we would have a pattern provider or a P2P on every single one of those input buses so that we can use the same machine for all the different circuits of the machine. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, okay, because some assembling recipes, they need fluid, right? But you can't just have the pattern provider on an input bus and it can't input fluids into here. So how in the world do you get the fluids into the assembling machine and have like it be on autocraft? Oh, wait a minute. I see exactly what you're saying. I'm stupid and you're right. Oh, no. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Hold on. You are so right. So I would have like, where do I want to put these? I can have them just like above here, I guess. Right. And I'll have one input hatch. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Let me explain it as well. So I would have a pattern provider on this, right? And each of these would be a different circuit. Yes. And then we'll have just the fluid go into this input hatch. However, this is going to go into this input bus, this one and this input bus. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to run through this one more time. So basically, what we're doing, right? So to solve the problem of the fact that the pattern provider on the input bus won't deal with fluids, we can put them in an ingredient buffer, which can hold items and fluids. So what we can do is have the items will go into here, and they'll automatically be pulled into the input bus. But we have one input hatch that is shared amongst all of them, which hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. I don't think it will. But we have those being P2P'd into the input hatch, so no matter the recipe, whatever fluid it takes, it should be able to handle it, and that way we don't need dual input hatches. But I did not finish everything on live stream. No. I did want to save some of this for you guys, right? So now that I've explained how this works, luckily I was streaming. Otherwise, I would not have been able to figure this out because one of my viewers was like, "Oh, just use buffers." I was like, "That's a great idea" because of the fluid situation here that was explained in the clip. But now it is working, and our assembling and circuit assembling is so much faster. It's insane. But we still have many multi-blocks to go. I think this is, which one is this? This is the material press on Bender, so I can now make plates really fast. For example, what's a plate I use a lot of? Like Sapphire, can I make 100 of those? How fast does it do that? This is using the cutting machine, not, not the plating machine, I just realized. We'll do a bunch of aluminum plates, like 1,000 of them. So one thing I also want to mention is that for all of these multi-blocks with multiple input buses, you need distinct buses so it doesn't confuse itself with another recipe. I just figured that out. I just made accidentally a bunch of double-plated aluminum plates, but that's okay. So if I want to make 500 more of these, how fast is this going to be? Yeah, that's that's pretty fast. I will definitely take that. So I just need to build a whole bunch more of these, and I think this is perfect for a montage. I think we need the wire mill, the lathe, extruder, and polarizer. So you guys know what that means, right? You should be hearing some music. Let's get those going. And I'm going to explain it, I think, a little more as well at the end. So I feel like, just in case you guys didn't get the gist of it. Anyways, montage time. So all of our auto crafting is done. Well, not all of it. Recently, like a cutter, maybe a chemical reactor at some point. I did leave some spaces for that. But basically, the same things are happening that I've been explaining. This is the lathe, and I think instead of having a bunch of pattern P2Ps, I just put a bunch of different pattern providers on here. So I have a lot of space for lathe stuff. These don't need a circuit ever. Yeah, there's a whole lot, right? I also multiplied the amount of like recipe outputs. So for example, instead of making one plate at a time, I'm making like 4 plates at a time. Yeah, this makes 16 plates at a time. This is just so I increase my parallelization, just be more efficient. So it uses the 4 out of 4 parallel recipes that it can every time it does it. Anyways, for the next part of this video, I want to do a little bit of prep for next episode, because next episode is going to be a really long one. We're going to do things with microminers, we're going to do things with ore processing, we're going to make a lot of subnets. I'm expecting a 40+ minute episode next time. So let's kind of alleviate that a little bit, maybe relieve some of the stress that's going to happen next episode. what I want to do is make every single machine that I need for ore processing. So I'm going to need a centrifuge and thermal centrifuge. I'm definitely going to want a maceration tower, a sifting funnel, probably going to want a chemical bath and an ore washer. Definitely going to want an electrolyzer. That should be it. So that's going to be, what, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 machines total. And I guess also a multi-smelter, so make that 8, right? So that's perfect for the amount of slots that we have. Awesome, so I have all the different controllers here. Now, I've got to wait on the casings because they're going to take a minute, but all this is going to start with the maceration tower. I know for a fact I'm going to want 2 of these because the maceration tower is, no matter what, going to be the backup, and there's also usually 2 maceration steps in most of these recipes. So, yeah, having 2 of these is going to be pretty nice. We're going to have 1 for the base input and 1 for, like, the midway processing. So I guess we can go ahead and start that off here. Right, so we'll have the macerator here. This is going to need a few different things, but that's fine. And we're going to have another one just right up here. Right, in fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to quickly put all the machines where I think I want them to go. So I have all of the different multi-blocks in place. This really didn't take that long, actually. Next up, I want to make sure I don't have to automate micro miners, or rather at least the auto crafting of them next episode. So we should hopefully be able to do that today. As you can see here, this needs an advanced crafting table, but you can't really auto craft in this, but there is an advanced auto crafting table, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to make. I really hope so. It's just a whole lot of patterns. We're also going to need an elite crafting table here coming up pretty soon to make crystalline, which is actually used to make the auto crafting table. So over here, tell me, do I have everything I need? I should hopefully have everything that I need to make the elite crafting table. Awesome, so that is the tier 3 crafting table. And now, hopefully I should be able to make, I think I need a whole bunch of crystalline, because I would like to make the elite auto crafting table if I can, which this is going to need HSSG plates. Quite expensive. So luckily, crystalline is actually not that expensive. Hopefully, is 2 stacks going to be enough? We'll go ahead and find out. But now, if I want to make the elite auto crafting table, actually, can I just make this now? Boom! The elite crafting table. Now, this you can't insert into, oh, actually, I guess you can. It might be something different. But as you can see here, it looks like we have to save recipes. Actually, let me read up on the quest book and see how this actually works. Alright, so I think I have this figured out. It's a little bit complicated, so I'll try to explain it my best. But I need this package recipe encoder. And this way, I can make, let's say I want to make crystalline. I wonder, can I do that in here? Will it allow me to save this recipe? I think it will. If I save this, oh, I guess all of them just saved that, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I just need 2 of these, and I'm going to test this out. And hope this works. I also had to make this elite package crafter that works with it. So if I hook this up to the ME system with an unpackager and a packager, these both need the recipe. All right, yep, this should all work, hopefully. If I hook this up, will you work? Can I see crystalline? Oh, I can craft this. So can I make... Okay, so I figured it out. This holds the recipe. It goes into here. And this takes the recipe, and you need to have the recipe holder in this spot, and the packager, and the unpackager. So if I wanted, can I make 100 of these? I should be able to. That should work. Yes, okay. I do wish it was a little faster, but that's fine. So now I could take these, put them somewhere in auto crafting. I should be able to get rid of a lot of this now, actually. A lot more space freed up. I'm happy about that. So here, let's say I wanted to have a package crafter right here. I'm going to have the packager on top, unpackager on the bottom. Those should all be powered. One recipe. See, I don't know if these can hold multiple recipes, luckily, so that's good. Actually, let me go ahead and encode a lot of those recipes. So in the elite crafting, I know I'm going to want crystalline. I believe I should be able to do the tier 2 micro miner. I'm curious if I can make the 3rd one. I think I should actually be able to make the 3rd one. There are some things I might not have, but we'll figure that out. So that should be all 3 of those done, and we may do some automating in the future. We'll see with this, but for right now, I just want to have them on autocraft. So we're gonna have one of those recipes here, and one of them here. So tell me, can I autocraft me a tier 2 micro miner? How awesome would this be? I'm stupid. This should work now that I have the correct guy here. I should be able to add more recipes to this, but this is just gonna be for the advanced packaging. I'm also gonna want one for elite crafting. So now I should be able to not only craft my tier 2 micro miners pretty fast, but also crystalline. I'm going to just make 100 more. Why not? Yes. So I now am auto crafting tier 2 micro miners. That was a headache that I was not really prepared for, but now we are prepared for it. So now that we are actually able to craft those without having to do it manually, I want to see if I can't unlock the tier 3 micro miner. I'm hoping I should have everything I need, and I do want to see if this will still work. So for the tier 3 microminer, I'm just missing titanium crates, MV field generators, some other random stuff. Okay, for the MV field generator, I need magnesium diboride. How in the world do I get this stuff? Do I have any boron? No, I have absolutely no boron. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to wait till ore processing to get the tier 3 microminer. But we do have the first one and second one being able to be made automatically, so that is pretty snazzy. So that is most of what I wanted to do today done, but seeing as we're only here for like, the video's only been 20 minutes, I did want to do a little bit more talking. Hopefully get my plans a little bit more through before I start them next episode. So the plan for ore processing, at least, is to have some sort of ore input, which is going to be gotten from the main ME network, and that's going to be distributed into one singular subnet that's going to be distributed into 8 different other subnets, so 8 subnets. And then we'll do a lot of sorting from there. So whenever a material is processed through one of these machines, it's going to go back to the subnet one layer above it. And then the 8 subnets are going to be looking on that subnet for any materials to pull from there. Ooh, that was a lot. That is how I've seen most people do it with GregTech ore processing, is with subnet. So I'll be doing that. I don't know if mine's going to be too much different from most other people, so I'm going to try my best to explain it whenever I do make it. But we also need some sort of miner making system. Now, I don't know if I want them on passive. I don't. I may put them on passive. I may not. We'll see. But basically, what I want to happen is I want a microminer to fire off whenever we get below a certain amount of a certain key ore, so hopefully it should automatically replenish that, is the goal. So I should never, ever have to worry about sending a microminer mission myself. It should all be automatic. My base should be smart enough to know how to do it on its own. That is the gist. That is going to be the plan. However, I do not have enough time for that this episode. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of me and more Monifactory, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Monifactory, where we'll be doing a whole lot of fun stuff. Later.